Hi, good evening. It is quite late, but I wanted to try to wrap up this huge project that I've been doing for a relationship counseling group. If you saw the part one of this build, then you know that we were migrating one website, Behavioral Health Intervention Center, all the way over onto a completely new website that I built that is an umbrella for the various practices that Chris A. Matthews, who's the owner of these companies, has. So I was taking BHIC and moving it over under the counseling center, which will also now house Chris A. Matthews Counseling, Marriage Underdogs, Relationship Counseling Group, and Relationship Counseling Tools. So we're in our last big part of this. If you saw a lot of the homepage work that I did on the last stream, you'll know that it was pretty extensive, but I didn't complete it. So I wanted to give you a quick couple minute time lapse of of the rest of the work that I had to do. And then what I'm going to do is come back and actually show you the before and after so you can see it. So just so you know what what transpired if you were watching last time between then and now, I'm going to go ahead and put that on for you. So here you go. So we got the most of it done, but we didn't get some of these extraneous little strips completed. And then I also wanted to make sure that we got the sort of elements that set them apart from other drug education and alcohol substance abuse companies and court mandated service companies. And so I wanted to make that look a little snazzier. I had a lot of trouble lining up the bottoms, but I figured it out. It was basically a line spacing thing, so it doesn't look so wonky soon. Also, I didn't really like how the icons were looking. And so I fixed those. I put them on a green background and just made them stand out in white. And I actually thought the height of the icons was why the sizing was weird, so I played around with that a little too long. So eventually got it looking okay. There we go. Finally fixed that misalignment with the heights. So I moved on to the testimonial area. And even though I kind of straightened out the design on this, I wanted it to be more interactive. So even after this piece, I'll show you the before and after where I actually included a live interface for the Google, like Google Maps business, where you can do the reviews. You can do them right from the page. You can see other reviews that are on the site. So I'll show you that as soon as this little overview is complete. Just wanted to get this strip looking more akin to the branding. Updated the social bar. And then just sort of fix that footer a bit. And I think we're coming to the end of this. So this is just to catch you up again on the work that I did after our last session. Just getting the liner done, the footer done, moving over some contact information. All right, there you have it. So that's kind of where we are with things. And actually, let me show you the before and after of the sites so you can see exactly what we did. So this is what the site looks like presently. I use a lot of the same elements because remember, this is not necessarily a brand new site or a rebuild, it's just a redesign. And so I kept the video element. I changed like the fonts and some of the stylings and the modernization and the colors just so that they're all a little bit more congruent, which you will see. I didn't like how the services were all just sort of taking up a lot of real estate. I like this area. I just think it was kind of nonsensical as far as the height and again, the inappropriate use of real estate. So again, this was just more of a redesign. So that's the site as it currently stands. And here are the changes that I've made. So again, kept the video. I just made it more of a background feature to really highlight the services and the individual counseling services. I kind of went with more of a sans serif font and more of the punchier colors. So the navy blue and that sort of green as accent from his logo. And updated this services page. This was kind of a huge deal because I think this is going to be a lot more helpful for people coming in who just want to quickly see what the services are and how they can be held. This is for like shoplifters, anger management, substance abuse, alcohol, people with CDLs, people who have DUIs, DWIs, things like that. So, and then he also offers individual counseling services. So I wanted to feature this kind of separately because he works on these 3 different categories of mental health services. Got a little bit of a parallax image right there. And then again, I kept that what makes us different feature. I think that little wobble is cute, so I kept that and just made the icon stand out a little more. Constricted the height just so you're not taking up so much real estate. Incorporated that one strip that he had that was kind of separated out. And then here's the kind of big change that I made even beyond the video that I showed you. There are the 3 kind of primary testimonials that he liked to pull out, but then here is the actual interactive Google reviews feature that I added. So you can see as many as you want. And there are a lot because they're a really amazing business. They've been around for a very long time. So they've amassed quite a few 5-star reviews, which are, you want to see, and then you want to be able to have that ability to write a review yourself right away. And then also just fix this strip. I changed the colors. This was blue and that was gray, but I wanted to make sure that the footer had a little bit of pop. So I just put that blue down here instead. So again, they've been in business since 2011, so for 15 years, which is really impressive. Now I've gone ahead and moved all of the sites that I'm working on over to 2026 for their copyright, just to save some headache and time. And then here's the footer with the updated social bar. And of course, all the services and contact info and sort of availabilities and things lifted out. I still have to fix this logo, so I will do that once I'm done with the primary build, so I can go ahead and move the site over, and then I'll go in and just work on Illustrator to basically vectorize the logo, because there at the footer and here it is a little fuzzy, it's very small, and it's just not appropriate for resizing to larger sizes like you saw at the bottom. So we're all done as far as the home page is concerned. I need to fix now the move for the services and the individual counseling services. So what I'm going to do today is actually build in 2 new dynamic pages. So this is going to be really fun. It's going to be really a bit challenging because I'm going to have to start from scratch a little bit because I'm not really happy with the elements on the existing services page. So you will see what I mean. We're going to jump in. But first, as always, I like to make sure we're on scope, that we're actually targeting the things that the client wants and that we've discussed and that he's paid for. And so I'm going to go ahead and look at my ClickUp app. I promise I am not being paid by them or anything, but I know I sound like I'm a working commercial for them because they're amazing. I just love how they help me stay organized. And so let's jump over so you can see exactly what we've got to do today. And I'll give you a bit of an overview of the entire project so you can see where we are in the scheme of things and what's already been done. So today we are still kind of completing the phase 1 initial build that I was paid to do. So I was initially paid to pull BHIC over onto the relationship counseling group page just so we could point the URLs over and save some money by not having 2 premium Wix hosting accounts. So that turned into then building out this entire new website for the counseling center, which became the umbrella company for all these different organizations. And then we moved into a phase 2 where I had to help with some EHR management stuff. And then we did a phase 3 where I essentially had to like move the entire Go High level with the courses and the groups and the therapy, all the therapist information, everything over onto the site again. So we have this one umbrella company. So it's kind of evolved quite a bit. And I'm going to actually pause for 1 second just so I can close this door because my family is trying to sleep and I believe I am being a bit loud. So 1 second, if you don't mind. I'll be right back. Thank you for bearing with me. I wanted to get a quick snack. It's just roast chicken. So I just went ahead and got a little something to eat. So I'm gonna munch on this beautiful cheese twist that my husband bought for me earlier. And I got a drink, so let's dig in. All right, so let's go over again just a quick overview of the project and what all we have to do, what's going on. All right, let's turn that off. So we're on ClickUp right now. And again, we had a phase one of the project. This is where we are still, but we got interrupted a bit by some additional phases that we wanted to accomplish that were a lot more pressing. And so I'm glad to be able to come back and kind of complete some of these items just so we can call it a day. But again, we had a phase two where we had to basically research and then implement Simple Practice as Chris's new electronic healthcare record system. And it's kind of funny because my master's degree is in healthcare informatics. So this is like my absolute home base. I know so much about EHRs, but it's not really what I do primarily for a living. In fact, I think I use the more project management aspects and informatics aspects, which is like applied analytics in a sense. I use those elements of my master's degree more than I do the actual healthcare portion. So it's kind of cool to be able to tap into that knowledge base that I have. So we successfully completed that migration of all of his best notes and cognito forms and go high level into one place into Simple Practice. So let's go ahead and close that up because phase two is fully complete. We're also almost done with the go high level migration as a whole. We are done with the actual move. So we've moved over all of the groups. We have moved all the courses. We just have to add a client, all the people who bought the previous course to the new course so they can have access to that. So that's still on the menu. We have some CRM work left to do just to let the different therapist clients know where they are now. All the therapist information and forms and links and all that's been moved. The websites have been moved. So he had actual funnels and web pages on Go High Level that I've already moved Chris A. Matthews Counseling over. We have a lot more that we have just pulled the content for that we're going to add into another phase, which is going to be phase 4. So, yeah, so that was a big interruption, but that's pretty much complete. And then all the other sort of extraneous things we want to do, I'm chunking into a future phase. We're going to call that phase 5. So we're all the way back here today. Tonight, we're going to try to wrap up phase 1 by working on these 2 dynamic pages. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that as in progress because the first one we're going to do is the mandatory services page because that's the most pressing and important. And then once that's done, we should really pretty much be able to duplicate it to then work on the individual counseling services page. So let's get to work. All right. So I am in the editor. I'm sorry. I was hungry, y'all. Hold on. So we're going to go ahead and go to the dynamic page section. And I don't believe there's really any that we could duplicate. So we're just going to start from scratch. I don't need a list page or items or anything. I want to make a new collection, so I don't think I need to do that part yet. So we're just going to say blank. Oh. So do I need to make a new one? I don't think that's right. So let me go to the CRMs and I'll build a CMS first, a content management system first. I'm going to build a collection. So let's take a look at our current collections. What are the services that I have listed already? Okay, yeah, so these are for a relationship counseling group. That's not something I can use for this. So let me actually specify that. I'm going to change that to RCG services just so we don't have any confusion. It's all good. And now I can create a collection. We'll just start from scratch. And we'll call this BHIC services It's going to be multi-item because we're going to be putting this on 2 dynamic pages. So we'll create. Okay, and we're just going to make that the service name. So we'll say service. And that as a text field. I don't know what status. I'm gonna leave that for now. Descriptions, fine. Image, fine. Image alt text, fine. Okay. Let's look at the existing way they look, and then we're hopefully just going to be able to kind of copy over a lot of these elements to build our dynamic page. One of the things that Chris really likes is having this sort of 3-step process. So we'll be sure to build out like a step 1, step 2, step 3 element in our CMS or in our collection essentially, so that we can build these pages in. Okay. Okay. We have like a program overview. This one doesn't have that step 1, step 2, step 3 piece, so we'll have to kind of use ChatGPT, I think, to help us kind of figure that out for what that would be for CBI. Alcohol and drug education. This is really sparse. So I feel like the only one that has a bunch of information is the DWI thing. Also, I don't like that you have this piece about why BHIC is the best option for you only on this one page. I think that's something we can recreate, that we can just have on all of the pages. Also, why wouldn't this be higher up so people can have see a quick reasoning as to why they should go with BHIC. So alcohol and drug. Yeah, again, like, okay, not a lot of information at all. DOT SAP is another really huge program they do. Here's another step-by-step. So we could use this, but this has 4 steps, which is okay. Can we condense this to 3 in any sort of way? Let's see. What we might want to do is use the first 3, but then have another section for like what to do after you return to work. And so have that as like a separate section instead of breaking our step 1, step 2, step 3 format. So I think that would be best. And listen, feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions about what I'm doing, or if you have questions about a need that you have or a marketing concern. This is your time as much as it's my work session. I want to make sure that this is a communal sort of a space. This is not just for me to get some tasks checked off, but I also want to make sure that if you're on Discord or YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever you're watching from, that you know that I can be a resource to you if you should need. So let me get back to this. So we're just trying to figure out what we, so this actually has that what's us as a part area. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities in the DWI and DOT SAP programs. I'm so sorry, excuse me. What I'm not seeing is that same one-to-one with these two, with the CBI program and the alcohol and drugs. So let's see. Yeah, I just think we're gonna have to like fill in a lot of copy for these two. So we're gonna rely on our dear friend ChatGPT for a lot of that. Okay, so those are the four big ones. We actually have 6 listed on the new page. So let's do this. I'm going to add, we already have the description area. Let's see. I think rich text is fine. We'll just probably text. We'll do this step 1. Oops. Type step 2. All right, and then I think we can have some static elements as far as that why choose BHIC portion. So I think for now, let's just start copying and pasting over the large elements, and then we can format them, because again, this is a redesign. It's not necessarily a reconstruction, even though this is a client construct. So let's just pull over some of the big stuff. I don't like that this is so much real estate with just a dude like. So I'm not happy with that. I think we should absolutely have this space convey information. So literally all of that. In fact, the same way that I did the overlay on this, I think that's really the motif we're going to follow, because people don't give a shit about this, what do they care about this? Why is this 90% of the fucking page? So we're gonna make maybe an image instead of a video piece, and have the title, the description, and the first button over this area. So that way it has a nice visual look to it, but we're not wasting all of this real estate. Like, I can't believe that. Ugh. All right. So we have our description box. I don't even know where these go, actually. It says register now. Okay, this is an existing Cognito form. So I hate it. I'm gonna try to see if I can iframe this in so that we don't leave our website. So I'm seeing so many things. I'm like, why are we doing it this way? So, okay, I'm glad to be in here to fix some of this stuff. So what we're gonna do is we'll add a rich content field. Yeah. And I think this can be registration. Let me see if there's different ones. So this is for drug education enrollment. That's CBI. This is just contact us, call now. Contact us, call now. schedule an appointment. So why would they, when I click it, it doesn't go anywhere. Come on. So it sounds like for the DWI, DUI services, they just want you to call to set that up. So I don't like that. I think everything should be able to be done online. I don't think anybody wants to talk to anybody. If that's just the way they do it, then we'll have a conversation with Chris about it. But I would love to build them like a on-site form. But for now, we'll iframe it in. But for now, again, we'll just make this go to the phone number that they want it to go to. But oh, I hate this. I hate it. Okay, so we're gonna look at the alcohol and drug and see what it takes to register for that. So this has a registration, and it's the same exact link as CBI. So okay, we're not worried about individual counseling right now just yet. So DOT SAP is another where it's like call us, contact us, call us, contact us. Okay. I hate it. I hate it. Okay. So we're going to leave this form open since it's just the one to apply for our registration area, but god damn, I hate it. Okay, so we're just gonna start moving things over. I'm going to actually pull up the BHIC backend so that we can again just copy paste because we're redesigning. We're not trying to do too much as far as rebuilding. So I'll try to copy and paste what I can, redesign. We'll do something about these forms because I'm not happy with that. And then we'll hopefully get to a stopping place where we can at least duplicate for the individual counseling services, and then we'll move on. All right, so I think that's it for that. So the services though, we have accounted for DWI, DOT SAP, drug and alcohol education, and CBI. What we have not accounted for is their outpatient services and their anger management services. So I'm not sure what that's about. I think some of that is listed lower on their homepage. So let's go back and see what that's about. So we have here we go. Outpatient substance abuse treatment, which just goes to the top of the page. What the fuck? Okay, so what is this? Oh my God. Okay. Um, Now I know because he told me like that even though you're signing up for anger management, that's still like a contingent of the CBI program. So I can understand why anger management's not on here because that's sort of included as an option for CBI, which we can account for. But when it comes to this outpatient substance abuse treatment, why? Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna basically have to get to the client about two things now. One, where's the outpatient substance abuse treatment information? Um, so that we can, add that into the site. And then two, what are we going to do as far as having some sort of a form system or online mechanism for people to be able to book the DWI and dot SAP without having to just call? Okay. So we'll just get started for now, but those are questions I'm not going to be able to answer today. I will certainly build that into the work as we move forward. I don't think we're going to be able to get done today because this is kind of a lot, but let's just get cracking and see what we can do. So I'm going to say registration. Sorry. So for the first one, the way I'm going to do it, let's go to all right, we're going to do the BHIC services collection. We're just going to start from scratch. All right. And then we're going to start pulling over certain information. Now I need this dynamic page to not show the header and footer because those are for RCG. So let's go to, we'll just go to settings and to layout, no header and footer. And I think that's fine. I like how that has that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. So what we can do first is just kind of make life easier on ourselves and go to the site menu and pull over it's not going to be the one we keep because again I have to update the menu to to refer to services and things because this is still from an old site. So we're going to have to kind of do this twice, but that's okay. We'll just copy for now. And we'll just start building the elements into this dynamic page that we need. All right. Boop. Okay, and then we're going to add a section, and we're just going to put in the footer page that we built. So now we have our little homepage sandwich. We can get started a little bit. So let's copy that. I feel like I can hear my baby. I'm just keeping my ears open. And again, feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions about what I'm doing or what you might have going on as far as marketing services and things. And that's not what I want. So let me figure that out. Oh my fucking God. Okay. Let me undo. I think I need to like right click copy as opposed to trying to control C copy. Didn't want to keep that whole thing. Twice for good measure. Let's go back to our dynamic page. Okay, we'll paste that down there. So that's great. So now we have the same footer, header, and footer. So now we just have to figure out the middle bit. And again, I'm just going to try to emulate the what they already have here, and then we'll go back and edit and connect the services that we want to have sort of be dynamic across the different things that he's offering. So let's go to DWI. And again, I hate this. There's entirely too much real estate taken up. So I'm going to take it just so that I can use this as a background to add the elements that we want onto it. So we'll just do that for now. So we're going to copy. All right. Excuse me. And then let's see. Let me actually go to the BHIC homepage we just built and bring over some of the elements that we did so that we can start really building some cohesiveness into this. So we'll just have, I'm certainly going to need to format these a little different because I want it to be more a paragraph style. But that's okay for now. We'll just build as we go, and feel free to stop me if you have any questions. I don't think I'm moving too fast, but if you think I'm moving too fast, certainly let me know. There's the center. And then I want to take that same treatment that we used on the video and apply that to the imagery. The first thing, I'm going to copy this whole strip just so we can, again, start to keep some cohesion. So we have the background as this 5555 dark gray, and it is at 30%. So let's see if we can apply that same look to the dynamic image we have here. All right. Okay. I like that because it's like a hazy, looks more hazy than the straight black. I like that. And then, of course, you can still see very clearly that it's a woman driving a car, which is appropriate for DWI services. All right. I'll just publish as I go. I don't give a shit. I know some people will be like, just save until you're ready. No, that's fine. Nothing's live right now, like, so I'm not too concerned. All right, so let's start moving some of these elements over. Virtual. All right. And I might actually make this 2 because then we can have like new lines for each city. We can even say like virtual DWI and DUI assessments in Charlotte, North Carolina, in Gastonia, in Matthews, so we can have a whole list of cities in the spreadsheet for the collection. So that basically makes a whole lot of new pages that are really SEO friendly to each of those specific, mandatory services near me sort of Google searches. So we can think about that as we go. Let's start seeing what other elements we can move over. All right. Let's spread this out. Did I hit it? What's that lining up to? That's better. All right. Say no bullets. Make that white. Center that. That's fine. I feel like that's very hard to read. It's very busy. Yeah. So we might need to make that background a little bit darker or just less opacity. Let's center that up. Oh, it's right there. Um, I kind of don't mind that, but I don't know. We'll think about it and keep going. Let's see. So these are more contact us links that go to his contact us page. But again, I'd rather people be able to go ahead and register for this stuff. But what I'm going to do is just put call us and just have it go ahead and call that number. And why would it, oh my God. Okay, look, the number is 458-9292. Look at where it goes. That's Chris's cell phone number. So that's not cool at all. Okay, and this is the existing site. Like, I don't get what they did on so many things. All right, so let's just, wow. We did that with that, yeah. So let's just literally copy and paste this. Only thing is, what's the height there? 31 to 303. Because I want the homepage elements to match. So that needs to be 303. So we'll just copy this. Make it with 303. And then that's more in line with the look on the homepage. Yeah, we'll come up with different language for, excuse me, these elements. I'm not really sold, but we'll keep going just so we can get the pages in and get something. Excuse me. So let's go. All right, so the next elements that he has, why you need a DWI or DUI assessment. That's nice and all, but I want to jump right into the process. The 1, 2, 3 of it all. So let's just copy this whole element over. Like, I'm always trying to think, what are, oh my God, I hate it. I hate it. I'm always trying to think, what are people going to want to see first when they come onto a site? Like, if I were somebody, I'm looking for these services, I need to get my license back. I made a mistake. I don't want to be judged for that. I want people who are compassionate, who understand, but who, can help me and not, bullshit. So I don't want to see all the fluff about, here's why you need this. I know I need it. I need to get my license back. So let's go ahead and jump right into the steps they'll need to do. And then we can pull that element over of, why you might need it. I think that's a better order. So again, I'm going to do like I did last time and just literally pop elements in. And then we'll do the editing as we go, or after we're sorted. So we'll pop elements in, edit, connect, and then we'll start building out our database. So short-term DWI treatment programs. Now, is this what he means when they talk about the this one, the outpatient substance abuse treatment? I think that's very different. So we'll just, again, we'll copy and paste and we'll figure everything out. Short-term DWI treatment programs, reinstating your driver's license. Another thing I don't like is that there seems to be a lot of elements that are just not one-to-one. So we have this whole section here about the treatment programs and the reinstatement part. and then this program level thing, but there's not a lot I can one-to-one that with the CBI program content. There's just not enough, or the alcohol and drugs. So like, look at this. That's not a lot. That's it. So what I might be able to do is take some of these elements. So if we have this whole section here about short-term DUI, blah, 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 then we can one-to-one it with like maybe our clients and curriculum highlights, and then one-to-one what determines your DWI program level, one-to-one that with like, okay, what is cognitive behavioral intervention? So literally find a way, but I don't want it to just be putting something there for the sake of putting something there. So again, we'll put everything in, and then we'll go back and sort of figure out a better order, because I'm not very pleased with how spread out and ununiform and unorganized that this site is. It's not good. And I hate it because this is my brother. Chris Matthews is my little brother. So I hate to see like, oh my God, this whole time he had a site that was just not doing him any favors, you know? So it's very important to me that we get this right, because I love him. All right, so let's copy. Oops. And then we'll paste that one in. All right. Oh my God. And another just random section. Just random. Whoops. Okay. Again, I'm just gonna publish as I go. It auto saves, but you know, I'm a Gen Z baby, so I remember when you lose stuff if you didn't save, so I save all the time, every time. All right, and here's the last section for DWI, which is again his biggest program. So we want to make sure we keep that looking good. Let's move that section up. Go. And the thing is, I love all of my clients. Like, yes, Chris is my brother, and I want to make sure his stuff looks good, but I feel like I would do this and have the same sort of gripes no matter who I was working for. I like really get upset. Like, yes, who built this for you and let you have this thing that's not serving you? You know, it just pisses me off. So I'm that person who, like, if we're at a restaurant out and my husband's food doesn't come out the way he wants it, I'm the one that's like, oh, excuse me. You know, I don't think I'm an asshole by any means, but I'll say something. And so I think that's why I feel the ire that I do. Yeah, because it's not good. All right, so not feeling this, not feeling this. I think the job now is, again, we got all the sort of dynamic elements and areas from the old site moved over. So we need to not only format things, which shouldn't take too long, but we also then need to find the one-to-one. So I'm going to build out this information, like the content and copy, into a document. And I want to actually then translate that across the different services. So this might take some time, and let me actually add in a window so you can see what I'm going to be doing in Pages. Let's open up a new Word doc or Pages doc. And I have on Deep House Redux or Remix or whatever. Let's see. Deep House Re-Up. They have like the best mixes. It's just nice to have on as you're listening. I don't think you can hear it, but yeah, it's lovely. Alrighty, so let's add in our thing. And again, stop me at any time if you have any questions. This is also your space to tap into a marketing professional of 20 years of brain if you like. And let's see, what am I trying to do here? So let's add in, I think let's just let you see the window. All right, so you can kind of see everything I'm doing. So forgive me if something pops up you weren't meant to see. Yeah, that's okay. All right, so okay, we got all this information. So let's go back to DWI and DUI, and let's pull that into, I'm kind of wondering if we should just go ahead and use the spreadsheet. Let's go and use a spreadsheet. Let's use numbers. Of course, I'm on a Mac, so I'm using the sort of integrated, word suite. All right. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's not show you a bunch of people's email addresses. Let me get this sorted out first. All right. I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna say cancel. Maybe. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so now you can see what I see, and we don't have to keep bouncing all the way around with stuff. Okay, so for the programs, let's go ahead and list, say the service. This is DWI, DUI, description. So we already have this information pulled over. All right. I feel like we need a header, a subheader. Okay, and then what'll happen is that'll match up with the formatting that we already have for this a little bit better. So we'll have some kind of header. So I think this should say something like helping you get your license back, or something like that. And then have like a subheader, mandatory services, or some kind of other, I don't know if we need this. I think that's too much. So let's maybe figure this out. I don't think that'll look good at all if we have that as that sort of green. Ugh. I hate it. So we'll keep that white. I do feel like there needs to be a pop at the top. Maybe something like that. Maybe. Still not sold. But again, we'll play around with it. But I think it needs some kind of header, some kind of subheader. Maybe this can be the DUI assessments, and then something like, helping you you get back on the road with no judgments, just results, or something to that effect. So we'll say subheader, header, all right, so then let's start to try to find the through lines between these things. We know we want to have the step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm just going to go from the primary site as it is live right now. So this will also be PTA. So this is a call for right now. All right, and then we have why needed. I feel like this is gonna. Okay, and we can make that text the body. Okay. What? I didn't want to bring it in separately, but I think I should have. All right, so if we just do it like that. Okay, that's good, because I thought it was going to make it into a bunch of different lines like it did before. This is fine. So that's why it's needed. We got that content. What to expect. So we'll say this 3 steps. We just say we try this. This is something that can be static across all of them. So we'll say step 1. Let's go ahead and separate step 1 title out. Two, 3. Okay, so step 1. I don't like these titles as it stands. I think they should be like step 1, take your assessment or get your assessment. Step 2, receive recommendations. Like, this is entirely too verbose. This is coming from somebody who's entirely too verbose. So let's see. DWI, find your class. All right. I'm okay with that being a bulleted list. All right, step 3. I don't like how any of this looks at all. I just, am I snobby? Am I being a snob? Maybe. Oh well. All right, so now we have the steps that are outlined. Let's keep looking and try to find some cohesion. So these are about the short-term DWI treatment programs. Again, I think it's fine to separate out the title versus the content. So let's say program title, programs, program title, program info. Oh gosh. Okay, and then reinstating your driver's license. Is that not just the next step? So we'll say next step, maybe. Step, title. Next step. I won't need all those, but let's see. Or maybe, this is a bunch of bullshit. Reinstating your driver's license. My gosh, okay. And then what determines your DWI program level? So let's say program level. Title. Program level. And the reason I'm taking the time to do this now is because, quite frankly, what if there's a new service that pops up, or he wants to splinter off a service, or like say CBI, because we already know that anger management can fall under CBI. He also does a shoplifting course, so there could be some other like compulsive behavior elements that we could pull out. So it's good to have a framework as opposed to just having a bunch of, unintegrated information, because then, as much as he can grow and scale, this is what'll allow him to do that. So I think it's really important we go ahead and put this work in right now. That's why I'm trying to take the time to really get it done. And again, this is something I think can be static. So since that's static, I'm not going to worry too much about this. Sorry. Only thing is, this does say, we understand that a DWI or DUI charge doesn't define you. So maybe there are some elements here that can change per service. So let's go ahead and just say YBHIC. Because it's just another line to, make this make sense. So it's perfectly fine. And the cool thing about it is that, how we talked about how if we wanted to change the location, so if it's like in Charlotte, in Gastonia, in Mint Hill, whatever, we don't have to change each of these elements. So we can have a bunch of lines that have all the same service information, but it just changes that city. And then you have a whole new web page that's specific to a specific city, which helps you with your SEO for that. Find, such and such location near me, and your Google Maps profile, your Google My Business profile. So it's just a really, really big help. All right, so that's that. And then YBHIC title, and then that'll be the content. Sorry. All right. Get started today. So footer CTA. Title. Get started today. And again, I think we should separate this out. I'll worry about that later. If you're charged, yeah. Okay. That bothers me so much that there are buttons that don't go anywhere. Okay, so let's keep going. So this is kind of all the elements that we have, and this is just for the DWI. So let's move on. And fuck it, let's put all of it in there. Let's go ahead and just do the top bit too. Oh, we did. Okay. We did. Sorry. Oh, do I have any questions? Nope. So no questions on LinkedIn just yet. No worries. Let me check OBS. No questions yet. But hey, this is your time, y'all. If you have any marketing problems you're facing, I am incredibly happy to chit chat with you. So okay, we did. We pulled over all of the information. And so let's go ahead and start aligning it with the other services. Okay, and I do want to go ahead and pull out the city location. Oops. So we can say and that way we won't need to say a column after. That, and I don't need that. So we can actually make this say in, so the title is officially just a title, and then we can have this kind of separate. So in North Carolina, in Charlotte, in Gastonia, whatever. All right, perfect. So let's now look at the next service. Boop. The longest one are these two here, so let's just spread those out a touch. So we're not so far down. Okay. Let me save this as BHIC service. Put it in my okay. So let's go back and now start to look at the other programs and see how we can find some one-to-one with these. This will help us tremendously as we start to build out the page. And let's, you know what? Let's do the hard one first. DOT SAP is the only other one that kind of had some alignment. So let's go ahead and do that. So we can say DOT SAP assessments. We already have the in North Carolina. We can say something like, yeah, Jesus. Getting you back on the road. And back to work. fast. Something like that. And then again, I'm just going to run a lot of this through ChatGPT so we can have a little help. All right, so description. All right. I don't know why these all have this extra freaking line added to all of them, but that you don't want that, because as soon as you go to put these into the dynamics, you could just ruin your whole aesthetic with these random lines and be like, where'd they come from? You have to go all the way back to your spreadsheet to fix it. So let's go ahead and just take those out now. All right, so understanding the .sap, I would say that fits more with program info. Okay. And the conduct complete. This is all bulleted. All right. Excuse me. So here are the steps for this. Do I have a separate step? No, we just go right into step 1, step 2, step 3. So that's fine. Oh, I know what happened before. I just watched this. If you just do it at the thing, see how it pulls it into each separate thing. So I see what I did. You have to actually click into it to not make it do that. So I knew that. That's fine. So, all right. Got some bullet points in the middle here. All right. What I'll probably end up doing is actually working with the client to really get this spreadsheet perfect before we start dropping in set static locations. But I can still get the build sort of, you know, to a decent spot today. So let's just keep going with this. I don't think that'll be a problem. Oops. My client is incredibly responsive. He's really good about picking up when I call. I always love that. All right, and the next steps, we're going to make this the next step. Follow up testing. Alrighty. So that way everything's a 1, 2, 3. Nice and chill. The Why Choose Behavioral Health Intervention Center, we already have that. Pretty short. I think that's just a long word. Okay, no worries. What sets us apart? All right. Get my music sorted out because we got to listen. Oh, I love this song. This set has D'Angelo, it has Angie Stone, who have both passed away now, which is so sad. Ugh. still want to respect them and just listen to their music. This one starts off with Her, though, which is a Puff Daddy song, which is crazy, but it's really so good. So we're going to listen to the remix of that. I doubt you can hear it, but if you want, go to Deep House Re-Up and jam along with me. Such a good channel. All right, so we have some newness here. So we have some What Sets Us Apart, Get Back to Work. First of all, these aren't crucial or critical elements. I'm going to put this one here because that fit. Or I don't know. All right, let's see what we're missing because we might be able to kind of shoehorn some of this. I hate to say it. So program level title, that's not something that's applying here. Footer CTA. Okay. I don't know if I can do this. Oh no. Let's see. So what sets us apart? We can probably pull into that other area, the initial area of why it's needed. But that also fits here very well. So I don't know if we just want to have this as a secondary element. Plus, it seems like this fits more with this sort of structure. So we'll put that there. And I think we'll maybe we're overthinking it a little bit. Let's see. I think this is meant to be a static footer for the services. They just don't work. Because this is specific to .sap. So I think what we need to rethink is what is our bottom section CTA? Because I'm fine to have that and keep that. But how does it look more, you know, consistent across these different services? Sorry, my back hurts. Okay, so get back to work. All right, let's just add in these new sections. There's just too much going on. I think just keep this and then we'll add this. If y'all can't tell, I overthink every fucking thing. Okay, so here we go. That makes some sense. This is fine. I'm sorry, to do a new line, you have to do option return. We'll just omit that other part. And why does this have that structure? Is that an M dash? And that's just a dash, so let's just copy that. No, I don't want to do that. Just keep that formatting. Okay. I could have just Command B, but it's all right. Okay. I'm fine with that. So now we have to kind of figure out where the other section goes. The get back to work and how we're going to mix these CTAs, perhaps. So I think this is a perfect solution. Just kind of mix it up. Okay, and so then let's just go ahead and keep this way. We have all the text, which is fine. Okay, so now we're only missing, they don't have this program level program title section. They also don't say why it's needed. So again, we can use ChatGPT to help us include this section if we want to. It might not be fitting to have it at all, so we'll see. All right, so that's our other kind of big one done. The next one we're just gonna have to kind of, the next two we're gonna have to kind of figure out. And then we don't have anything for anger management or outpatient services, so we'll have to see what we're gonna do there. All right, so let's keep going. Save our work as we go, and then let's go back to CBI. Again, again, we don't need the in North Carolina piece. We might need to lose program because it seems like everything else can fit on one line. I don't want it to be CBI program and then another line for in Charlotte NC. So we'll, again, there's things to keep in mind as we go. I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. This can be our just quick description. Also, we're probably going to need a separate area for I know what we're going to do. Take out the N because we can have essentially the URL formatting just be the service plus the location. And then we can put in as like a static thing that doesn't connect to the actual database. So we can have virtual DWI and DUI assessments as the call, in as the static thing, and then in North Carolina. And then that URL will be BHIC dash services slash DWI DUI slash or dash North Carolina. Just trying to think ahead. Want to make things easy on ourselves. Okay, so here we go. So we have that. Let's think of a quick subheader. Of course, we can chat GPT that up. So your path to charge dismissal It's fine. Your path to dismissing your charge easily, quickly, and with no. So the call to action here is the registration link. So we'll say link. This was call. Why is it needed? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Program title. Oh my gosh, sorry. I don't think we have much of any of that, but let's just see what we can do. Program overview. Okay. Okay. Registration options. That's new. Sounds like a step 1 to me. Our client. This sounds like the why it's needed element, perhaps. So we'll say why needed. We can pull that whole section in. That's fine. Curriculum highlights. This might be program level, something similar, or secondary program information. I think that might be appropriate. Second, program 2, program 2. I guess. I kind of love that about this work, to be honest with you. Like, so much of it is like, I guess, okay, it fits, that goes, you know. It's all kind of a big puzzle, which makes it really fun, to be honest. As long as we are helping people at the end of the day, you know, helping people to find where they need to go, get back on the road, get back to work, get back to their kids, you know, stuff like that. So it's all gravy. What is cognitive behavioral intervention? Where would that fit? We have title, maybe why it's needed. I think we have that. Program title, next step title. Oh boy. Sorry. I feel like we have that, a lot of that. I'm going to move this to here, just because I think that makes more sense. Oh no, we already did that. Curriculum highlight. So the process of CBI. Um, hmm. There's so much repetitive shit. I'm going to put this here. So I'll move this to like a step 3. Oh my God, please stop on there. All right, and then who benefits? Can benefit individuals dealing with a range of issues, including addiction, violations, shoplifting, public disturbances, anger management, and more. It's ideal for those comfortable with structured learning and willing to explore their thoughts and feelings to affect positive change. I think I hear my kid. I'm going to capture this here. It's just, it's not the appropriate place. And it's also redundant. There's a lot of redundancies here. So we'll have to figure that out. In fact, I think we should put all this information just under here because it's the same thing. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting you have to use option. All right, then ready to begin. That's our CTA. excuse me, and then to see if you qualify. And it doesn't say why BHIC, but this is pretty much the same thing. Okay, this was a bit challenging, but we kind of have a great deal of this. We have a pretty good amount of this filled out. Okay. Okay. So let's go on to the last one that we have information for. Pardon me. And that is going to be alcohol and drug education. I wonder if like these poor like stock photo people, when they're like a Friends episode about that, how like Joey was doing like stock photography and then he became the face of VD. So, you know, we're like, hey, are you an alcoholic? This poor man. That's okay. He'll be all right. He knew what he signed up for. So let's see. We're gonna talk about alcohol and drug education courses. So let's say North Carolina just to start. Subheader: empowerment through education. We'll make that more of a sentence structure. Let's see. Providing real change and empowerment through empathetic education. Compassionate education. I like that word. Okay. So this one is also a link. And then welcome to. That's the description, kinda. Why it's needed. Oh my god, there's only 3 things. Program overview. So let's go to program title. Sorry. Ooh, it's like 3 o'clock, y'all. Let's see, course highlights. Again, I don't really know where to put this. This is very different information. Our instructors. There's no other place that has this. Oh no. I really don't want to add more columns, especially when there's plenty we can kind of work with. So let's see. I'm gonna just add all this in here. And then we'll just put the instructor information as the additional program information. Okay. Okay. And then we have the benefit. Can't forget those. That's all the information we have for that. So that sucks. Let's see. Now let's say, and then the outpatients. Okay, so we are missing 2 whole services and quite a bit of a brunt of the information for alcohol and drug ed. The steps for CBI are sort of jerry-rigged, so we might want to just start from scratch with those. Everything else seems to be pretty one-to-one. There's not really more program information for .sap. So this is all about what determines their level. There's not really a one-to-one for that, so we just might need to have like a section that can have empty spaces essentially in the dynamic portion. So that might just need to come in after. So let's move this program information over because that'll probably need to come in after this so that it's all in one strip. And then that way, if these are blank, they won't look weird just being in a separate area. Next steps should probably come after step 3. So the flow would be you come in, here's a brief description, go ahead and have the call to action. We already have a description, so I want to just go ahead and jump right in to the steps that it takes to accomplish their goal or whatever. So after the next step, then we could talk about why it's needed. have specific program information, additional program information if it's needed. Why is BHIC the best choice? And then another static footer for a call to action, I think is more than enough. I'd almost like to make this more about who needs it, like who is this best for. I think that'd be a better area for this. I don't think it needs to be this long. Yeah, I think this needs to be more of like a who needs this. Who needs? All right, so just in trying to envision this, you have your header, which is basically your service, just all spelled out. The location, a subheader, which is just a single sentence that is more emotion driven. Then we'll have the full description. It needs to be just one paragraph. I'm thinking this is too much. And then that way it can be larger text, because that's one of the things I'm not feeling so far about this look. It's very busy. It's muddy. I don't care for it. So I think this needs to be bigger. Yeah, like having that bigger makes a little bit more sense. Then also making that just like one paragraph. Excuse me. And then we can also, maybe some movement in the background would be nice. We'll just see how this looks before we make a final decision. Driving. That's so much better. That's so much better than a static thing. I don't even like this particular video, but I think it's better than a static picture. And I'm thinking we go this direction. So let's just keep going. We're gonna keep going. And we'll just figure out some spaces for this. I also think this needs to come down. That way you see the whole video, the bottom of the video. Okay. Can I make this? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We need to add a video. That's fine. Let me see if I can do that before we keep going. Media. There we go. Okay, video. Okay. Upload multiple images or videos. We'll just say video. All right. So we can add a video, so that's helpful. So let me see if I can connect that now. Yep, there we go, video. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to take that off for now just so we can wait to build our connections, but we know we can do it. That's helpful. Okay, and then all right, so we got our description. We'll have our steps. Oh, I hate this. Hate it. All right, so let's go back to kind of figure out where things go, because this is gonna be kind of weird. Okay, so I'm happy with the way the header area is shaping up. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. This is a baby stream, so I don't expect anybody to be here. But if you're watching and you're like, hey, what are you doing? Or I think you could do that better. Or, hey, I'm working on my website. Can you help me with this thing? Please stop me at any time. This is, yeah, you know, I'm trying to think of this as also your time and your space. So either you can watch this if you like watching people bake cakes and restore old dresses and stuff. Like, I kind of like to think of it in that vein. Like, it's hopefully very calming and relaxing. It's very, to others, maybe it seems like boring work, but I think it's very nice and fun and cathartic. But if you're like, let me just watch this so I go to sleep, that's perfectly fine too. Or if you're interested in, you know, actually seeing how a website is built, or if you have questions, this is your time, your space. So please feel free to interrupt me at any point, okay? And let me also add in my CTA myself so y'all know. Yeah, you can ask me your marketing questions. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so we're just trying to figure out the elements on this dynamic page. And we know we need to double this up. I hear my hubs. That was nowhere near what it's gonna be. I hear the kid. Oh, she just woke up or she? What's wrong? You wanna close this? Cause I'm I don't want to be too loud. You okay? She threw up? Oh, I fed Queenie. I fed Queenie. Okay. All right. My little dog. Okay, well, there's that. So this is what I'm trying to think about. I'm not saying this is 4D chess, but you definitely want to try to think ahead a little bit. So I'm trying to consider when we pull in the connections on these, it's going to be very difficult to predict the width of these things. So even if I align it left and put like the in on that part, it's just not going to look good. So what I might need to do, to be honest, is literally just have two location columns. So one will just be North Carolina and the other one will be in North Carolina. So we'll just have to manually write in both sections, which sucks, but it's okay. So that's kind of how that'll look. And let's go pretty far out just in case we have some longer city names like Winston-Salem or Winston-Salem, North Carolina, if you want to put the whole thing. Okay, you're all right. Right back to sleep. Okay, so I got you. You're okay. On your butt. Okay. All right, so our theme is more of an Avenir. I can't change the site theme because that's, again, we have technically 5 websites within this one site. So I have to make everything look the brand of BHIC all by myself. So we're doing an Avenir. You also have an Avenir Light, but the actual font is Lato. So the only one I really have to change is the headers. So let's go ahead and do that. Also, we're using this mint green color because that's in the logo. There we go. So let's make this the Avenir. We'll just keep these at 40. It's nicer when you come off of it. And then I want all the text to be just black. Don't want to be that big. I think 18 is fine. I want it big here just to have some contrast with the background. Nothing's lining up. Okay, let's line these up better. Thing is, if you select multiple things to center, it'll just center to each other. So you have to kind of go one by one, which sucks when you're doing dynamic pages because everything is separate, which is fine. I do like it because even though it's a lot at first, it's always going to be a one and done, which is really nice. All right, so then our one, I don't mind this. I don't really mind this. Let's just make the color that mint green. 95B. I think we do have to make that for each one. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay, look at you. Making life easy. That's what I like to see. And let's go ahead and make those that same Avenir font. Oh, and these are not part of, this is not, oh God. This is not a repeater. Now here's me again, like, should I fix this? Or should I just leave it? Because it's just 3 things. It's just 3 things. I just hate having to repeat myself when there is a system specifically designed so you don't have to repeat yourself. My God. Okay. Literally have to do everything 3 times, which is fine. Which is fine. All right, so let's just fix these colors. I'll make that the blue. We still got a little pop. Make this black, which we now have to do on the whole thing. I love repeaters because you just do it once and every single thing is done. But again, it's just 3 times, so I'm going to try not to complain. All right. Excuse me. I definitely don't like text being that big, so maybe 30, 14 seems sufficient. Not even centered. Come on, friends. They're not the same width. Look at that. 286, 294, 250. What about these? 320, 320. At least those are the same width. 294, 286, 250. I think thinner the better, so let's just make them 250. Yeah, that's fine. Width is 250. Okay. They'd all have a consistent width from the bottom. I hate it. Okay. Anyway, this is fine for now. Oh my God. All right. And then we're going to have to do the same thing for the frickin' mobile view. I hate it. These are not the same line spacing. Why? automatic. That's custom. Why? Jesus. Okay, we'll just make these automatic too. That's automatic. But that means that's a little too small. Okay, that's fine. Alrighty, so I think these are sufficient right now. Again, we're just gonna keep going. Okay, so we have our description, our step 1, step 2, step 3. Let's move on to the next steps. So, I'm sorry. Oops, sorry. It's like 3:30 in the morning. Let me tell you though, it's really hard to find the time with children. Like, I love my kids, but good Lord, it can be a struggle. All right. I feel like we should say something like steps to complete your DWI or DUI assessment. Would that apply for these? Steps to complete your DOT SAP assessment? Steps to complete your cognitive behavioral intervention program? Steps to complete your alcohol and drug education courses? Sure. Okay, yeah, I think it's fine. So let's just then, again, duplicate this. Okay. Oh my god. Now I gotta do everything one-handed. Are you still hungry? Queenie, this is a little dog. She's a miniature schnauzer, and she has had her full bowl of food, which I thought was more than enough. Apparently not. She's eating all my other dogs' food. Thing is, she doesn't have a lot of teeth, so I feel kind of bad. Let's see. Oh, it's not that. Alrighty. Okay, so let's keep going. And let's see. So we're going to now move on to the next steps area. So I think that'd be easy enough to have like a after program completion section for even like the CBI and alcohol and drug ed sections. So let's do that. the next steps. Am I okay with this blue? It's the appropriate one. Sorry, my eye is hurting. Let's go and put in the actual title for this one. Use that Avenir 40. Let's see what it looks like with that minty green. I don't think it'll look good. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, we're gonna keep that then. Again, this needs to be Lato. I don't know why that would not be Lato. Everything else is Lato. I don't know where that Robin thing came from. Anyway, let's drop that down. 14. It also doesn't need to be edge to edge. Jesus Christ. That's 22 Lato regular. 14. I think, yeah, 14 seems appropriate, but it looks very small right here. So let's do this. Let's put everything in the middle of it. Fine. Except we have this as kind of our template. Also, I don't want much confusion with this. I'm still debating on doing the video background or just having an image background or what we're gonna do. Yeah, I think that looks a little nicer. Bold might be too kind of weird. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. All right. Maybe bigger. My God. That's regular? Almost looks bold. It's just because it's so big. Let's go and put that down to 20. We are not passing the ADA contrast, measurements here at all, but moving on. We'll deal with that later. All right, so we have our next steps. Which maybe should be weird. You did it too, so. My little dog's tripping. next steps. Okay, again, we're fiddling still. I think I'm not really happy with the way this font doesn't show up as well as I'd like on this background. So what we might end up doing is making the, oh God, no. I might end up making the blue that we're using for BHIC a little bit darker. Just so we have that contrast that's going to make it ADA appropriate and also just generally easier to see when there's white on top of it. Like this blue. This is a nice blue. Yeah, so we just might need to retcon our whole BHIC blue. So let's see what that looks like actually. I bet that's going to be a lot nicer. Which one was it? Am I losing my mind? Let's see. So this was 162. Let's add it in case it's not added. Excuse me. Yeah, let's add it. Oh, that's very purple. Very purple, but it's pretty. It's definitely more of an indigo. But it's pretty, and it adds that contrast I was looking for. Let's take a look. Yeah. I think this is a good move. I think let's just make all the blues this blue. And the cool thing is this is not a color in his logo, so it's literally just the accent that we're going to add for the site. It's pretty vibrant to be so dark. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. And purple goes a lot better with green because it's kind of like, yeah, green is made of yellow and blue, so the opposite of that would be red. So adding a little bit more red to that blue to purple it up actually helps with that green contrast. So it's not bad. I'm happy with that. All right. So that means then let's go ahead and change the blues here individually, of course, because this fucking is not a repeater. All right. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, and then we can just start working on the rest of this. Okay, I like it a lot. Let's go back to the home page really quickly just to, so we don't forget. We can kind of retcon this blue and then we'll come back. So I love it. Plus this is the color that came from his old site. So again, one more way to keep things consistent. And now see, this is a repeater. So we're not gonna have to change 8,000 fucking things. Look at that. All done. One and done. Love repeaters. This is a repeater. No, it's not. But still, it's just 3 things. I'm fine with that. That's kind of the thing about being cheap like me, is you end up doing so much more on the front end to save yourself a few pennies on the back end. Now this is a repeater, so we don't have to change all of these. I am not gonna get... My little dog's barking at me. All right, let's change this. We really use this blue a lot more than I thought. And then, okay. And oh gosh, I use this so many places. I kind of love this now, this indigo look. Ah, it's so pretty. It's really pretty. I think it's worth changing all this, don't you? Like, tell me what you think as far as the aesthetic with this darker, richer indigo, darker jewelry kind of color. It's a lot more warm, I think. Let's see. I love it. All right, and we can actually change some of this. To match a little bit. I've been meaning to change this button here. Those things. Tell me. There we go. So let's make this that same blue. Love it. And then on hover, we can make it that same blue, but just a little bit lighter. Oops. Or, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Let's publish. All right, and while I'm loading up the new page, let me go let my dog upstairs. So I'll be right back. Oh, that pops. Immediately it pops. I love it. Okay, BRB. All right, sorry about that. Thanks for letting me take a little break before we wrap up this part 2 on our site migration. So let's jump right back in. Let's go ahead and just stay on the Chrome. All right, so actually, let's go ahead and do the full window thing. So now we've got our next step. We've got our purple indigo color sort of taking precedence. I love it. Oh my God, look at that pop. Pop, 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 pop. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm very glad we made that change. I still don't see it here. Maybe that takes a second. All right. I'll see if we need to change something different here so those colors show up, but I'm not going to worry too much about it right now. Let's go ahead and move on because we have to figure out the rest of this dynamic page. So let's jump back in and try to at least just wrap up the original structure we're going to be using. So we got in our header area, again, nothing set in stone. I'm still kind of zhuzhed about it, but we'll see. I love the color change with this more indigo-y type blue. I really wish this was a repeater, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. This is the next steps. So now we're moving on to, let's see, who needs? So he only really has one for the DWI services. And for CBI, there is kind of a mishmash one that we pulled from 2 different sections. I do feel like it's an important area to have. I don't think it needs to be this long. Maybe it does for this one because there's clearly like requirements that people have to have in order to need these services. But for everything else, so I'm thinking let's go ahead and just make it a big kind of a paragraph area or section. And then we'll shorten it up if we need to as we move forward. Blah. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. I'm wondering if we just duplicate this. I'm happy to do that for now. And we'll just flip the colors. I don't think we need a subheading for that section. Okay. I actually think this is the same language that we were about to copy over, so I think we're actually, or did we? Yeah, we did. Okay, so this is completing your DWI assessment. Why do they all have this same look? Like I'm not gonna say I've never hated a site more. I really hate the site that this poor man was given. Ugh. Just make it white. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my god. It's aggravating. Also, they're using a lot of this North Carolina language. I'm really thinking we might need to have like an actual um, offline spreadsheet that's used. So that way we can literally put North Carolina in one box and it just puts it into the full descriptive areas on the full CMS. So we'll be thinking about that as we move forward. Again, just trying to get everything in its right place right now, like Radiohead. In its right place. Oh my god, that's my jam. Anyway, let's see. So next steps, we're going to move on to the who needs. So let's go and pop this stuff in. Everybody was like, all the pro pally people were like, oh, Tom York and Radiohead, we expected more from them. They didn't say anything about the genocide in Gaza and this. And I'm like, yo, why do we put so much store and stock in fucking celebrities, first of all, but also like it's like we don't let people try to prove negatives all the time, but we're gonna be mad when somebody doesn't say something. Like, come on. If anything, let's hold our ire for the Kristen Chenoweths and Dean Witherses and all the people who the Ezra Kleins, the people who didn't choose to shut their fucking mouth when it came to picking a side, if you will. So that's my 2 cents anyway. Back to website stuff. So why you need a DUI, blah, blah, blah. So we'll sort this section later because, again, I don't think it's quite a snug fit, but we'll see. Moving on. So this program information area, again, all the other services, they kind of fit, they kind of don't. Maybe we could even, sorry, getting the hiccups a little bit. Maybe we can even like break up this .sap one so that we actually end up with 2 sections. I think I'm going to do that. That way we have at least like 2 program areas for each thing. That is tiny. Okay. The DOT SAP professional. Well. And let me make sure of that. I'm missing some context here, so let's put it in. Oh, fuck you. Okay. Here we go. Okay, the .sap professional will then make that sentence case. Okay. So now we have something for each program section. I think this is appropriate for that sort of 2-part element. So like this one right here. So let's just pull that up. Get the fuck out. Whoever built this site, dude, these should all be strips. Now, like oh my god, okay. I'm literally just gonna delete all of the shit. Fuck you. I hate not even bad design, just bad application. Like you know those Baumgartner restoration videos, like where they take an old painting that's like got schmutz and all kind of stuff on it, and the guy will clean it He'll fix holes, and then he'll paint over it so you can actually see what the missing areas were supposed to be. I think that that's the approach that all professionals need to have. So when I build a site, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm doing things where people can always go back and quickly change a single thing or a single theme, or have repeaters. So you only have to make one change to make the whole look, have the feel you're going for. I try to make the next person's job just as easy as mine is. And so, like, for people to come in here and just put whatever the fuck they want to wherever they want without any sort of thought, or, it just pisses me off because, like, I don't know, it's just not good practice, in my opinion. So, like, I don't know. Don't be better if you're going to be building sites for people. Because it's not just the fact that they might hire another web developer to come in and do this. They might want to try to fix something themselves. I always try to hand off a site so that somebody can literally, make a quick change, work on the text, to fit something that they are doing differently than they started. I don't understand why the future is not at all a consideration for some web developers or designers. It's bullshit. So excuse me, I'm getting a little upset about it. Like, Jesus. Anyway, that's again just my 2 cents. But and I just think it's also, there's no excuse. Again, I'm on Wix. I'm not in fucking WordPress. I'm not coding by hand, I'm doing it so people can follow behind me, especially the client. So we just got to be nicer to our customers. I think a lot of people do that too, that sort of making it look harder than it really is thing, so that they can continue to be the person that the client calls if they need one of those small changes. I'm going to be like Dinesh D'Souza real quick. So anyway, let's keep going because I'm just talking to the air, I'm sure. But, oh, hey, baby. But again, feel free to stop me if you have any questions from wherever you're streaming from. Let's see. I'm still all alone, but I am here if you have any thoughts or concerns, or even if you just want to tell me if you think I'm doing something wrong, or if you disagree with my Baumgartner restoration philosophy on things. That's fair. But let's move on to putting in this program information. So we're just gonna do a little copy and pasting. Hey, baby. There you go. Just having a little dream, I think. How cute is that? And again, let's go back to our green for the headers. We're going to go to that Avenir. And again, this is one area where I can't help the future person because we can't have a common theme when we're using these sort of standalone pages within the larger site. Because if we change like the theme of the headers, for instance, that'll change it across 3 other websites essentially. So we don't want to do that. All right. All right. Oh, I made it so fucking huge. It's huge. What do we do for the other one? I can't remember. Let's see. Let's make this all black again. Black, 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 blackity black. That's 18. Did we do it all that big? 18? Yeah, I guess we did. Those are 14. 18. This is 20 just because it needed to be bigger for the background. just want to keep things consistent. So let's make sure that's 16. Let's go and put that up to 18. Honestly, too, I feel like the smaller the font, the more professional it looks. I don't know why. Like the harder it is to read, the more it looks like an actual like person, went in there and zhuzhed it up. Like it costs more. I don't know. That's always the impression I seem to get, but maybe that's just me. All right. So again, I want to use well, I don't hate that as a differentiator, but I do like to have a consistent look with my buttons. Mm, mm, mm. Maybe I'll make it blue. I don't know. Hey, baby. Just have a little dream. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, what? Do I hear your foot? There you go. Get a little stretchy. I think that's fine. Okay, I think that picture's fine. Nope. Let's do this. Let's just copy this whole look. It's all left justified anyway, so that works. Why are they not the same size? Why did these developers, yeah. That's not bad, but Jesus. These folks are just pissing me off. Let's see if we can. I got you. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, they did. That's on me, I think. The layout. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Talking all this shit. Okay. I already think this looks so much nicer though. Am I gonna be okay with that being white and that being white? Don't call me white. Don't call me white. Don't call me white. Don't call me white. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just copy this over and we'll see about the background difference. All right. Got you, baby. Why don't we just keep the same stupid checkmark look throughout? Okay. I think that's fine. I don't think I'm gonna like it when it comes to that white on white. So I think, yeah, we need to maybe, oh gosh, what the hell? Okay. Okay. Also, I don't like this. It doesn't look, it lines up for some reason. What is that about? Stretch, that's stretched. Okay, let me take a look. That's fine. Yeah, just, the fuck is this? Alright, so I think the easiest thing to do is just make this background gray. Fuck it. No. A light gray. There we go. Then that has some delineation. Some delineation. Okay. I am more and more pleased with this. We got some images, break up that look, that's fine. So now we need BHIC. I think that's an important section to have, so let's do this one. I think we're gonna need some kind of parallaxy image, kind of like we have on the home page, just to break things up a bit. Oh hell, oh hell no. Let's see. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Thank you. Again, I don't like separate fucking, and it did it. All right, I see what happened. All right, I like every section to have its own, or every strip to have its own section. It's easier for anchors, it's easier for duplication. So yeah, I hate when it's all together like this. That's fine, but otherwise it bugs me. All right, I think that's fine. Oh, that's looking pretty, y'all. Look at that. But yeah, it is very copy heavy. I do think maybe we need some kind of something to break it up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there should be an image behind this that stays consistent throughout. I think we're gonna do that. All right, so let's just get this next section in. That is that's a lot. Let's see. That's 40. Like I get SEO and all that, but let's just put BHIC. And we'll make sure we have the full spelling in the text and whatnot. I'm willing to bet he used ChatGPT for some of this. They use so many M dashes. Define you. It's just, gosh. Semicolons are worse, but that's all right. You know what? Let's use Lato bold. Oh, it's just the bold. And you know what? Have I been talking on the... Okay, let's make sure I just muted it. I know. But it's not. It's not. It's totally different. Look at that. It was totally different. I'm not crazy. Okay, last section, y'all. Oops. Okay. And again, feel free to stop me if you have any questions. This is your time, your space to tap the mind of a 20+ year marketing exec. So I'm here for you. Let's see. I think this is all the same information. Sorry, I'm flipping all over the place. If you've been in charge, blah, 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 getting started. Yeah, I just took this one from the original, so I'll leave this all here. And again, we'll change that to our pretty CTA here. Oh, oh. You're okay. Hey, baby. Let me try something. Okay. Yeah, no, like Buddy the Elf, like, don't like that at all. God, let's just go back to where we were. Good Lord. Okay. My God, that was awful. That's the minty mint green. That's for accents only. Good God. All right, we'll just have another blue section. So pretty, y'all. Okay, I think we're at a decent stopping point. It is 4:30 in the morning my way, guys. So I think we've made a lot of headway. I still have a lot of questions I need answered, so I'm okay to put a pin in this for now. It's not perfect. It's not the final result. If you've seen me work, you've seen how I'll come back with something totally different tomorrow. But for now, I think this is a good enough place to stop, get our questions answered. Oh. And then we can reconvene, finalize. In fact, let me just check one more thing. I think I wanted to try an image. Let's see. I think that's it right there. Yeah. Here, let me check something real quick, y'all. Okay. I think we're okay. I'm a mod on a really, really awesome Discord, so I just get pinged sometimes. Gotta make sure everything's fine. Hey, you. Okay. Okay. All right. I think she's okay. Okay, we'll just stay here because everything I've left to do is going to be on this page. Ugh, I hate it. You don't want it so light where it's like, what's the point anyway? But plus that little bottom bit should have a little pop of color, so I might just put that blue back. Let's pop that one there too. Oh, we gotta do all these. Darn it. Alrighty. Start something back over real quick. I'm gonna listen to the same one because I just like this first song on it. It's so good. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the color. Okay. I think this is really nice compared to this. So let's I have no idea how to find this right now. Let me literally just hit a preview real quick. It's gonna give me that error, which is fine. And let's do a little compare contrast. All right, so here we have the old service page. All right, that's the old service page. Take you backwards like in roller coasters. This is the new service page. So I like that. I think I need a better video, but I don't mind that so far. It's definitely not perfect, but such a far cry from where it was. I think it's so much better. So much better. Still a little ways to go, I think, especially when it comes to the other services, filling out some of that content, the content pieces, but what a magnificent difference we've made so far. I'm very pleased with this. I'm going to hit a quick mobile edit, so I'll stay on just so you can see what that looks like, and then I'm going to call it a night because it is 4:37 in the morning. Let's publish our work so far, and then I'm going to head over to the mobile view. All right. And I don't really have a way to put the menu on here, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. What the hell is that? All right, so let's pop that up there. Okay, that's spaced well. I don't really know what we did on the. Let me look at the homepage mobile just to see what the different specs were. So that's 24 for the primary. The headers were 20 again. Subheaders were 18. Text was 13. 2018 13. 24 20. All right. That's helpful. That should be 24. Should also be 24, but wait. That's, what is this? 13. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so let's flick this up a little better. Fine. Fine. Awful, Jesus Christ. Again, repeaters, man. Repeaters, man. Repeaters, man. I got you. Let's come up with a consistent height around this. Thinner. Let's see, 27, 28, 28 seems decent. And then 16 as a font for buttons. Buttons. 0. Hello. 0, bitch. Okay, let's see. 14. Hate it. I hate it. Repeaters, everybody. Repeaters! God, that's aggravating. Anyway. The fuck on. Why? What are we saying? That's another button, I think. No. You? Oh, honey. It's okay. 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 228.16. Gotcha. All right. I am done, my friends, for the night. I am very pleased with how this looks. So I think the next steps are really just to get confirmation on how we want to build out each section of the services, and then work with like ChatGPT to fill out some of that copy that's missing, particularly for the two missing services. Otherwise, I am very happy with it aesthetically. The video has grown on me. I didn't want it to look too much like the homepage, but if that's a problem, we can sort it out as we move forward and kind of finalize things. But so far, so good. So far, so great, quite frankly. I like it. So, next steps are just to have another meeting with the client, get his input on the aesthetics of it so far, since this is a redesign. So hopefully he's happy. Let me go ahead and start connecting a few of these CMS points just so we have one item in and we can go ahead and link it to a page so we can see it live a little bit more easily. So, excuse me. Invisible. Let's just copy and paste this first one in. No, I'm just gonna add a field, but I don't wanna, gonna have to. All right, and then Mm. Okay, baby, come on. Trust me. All right, friends. Thanks for the people on Twitch who chimed in a bit. I will see you guys probably tomorrow just to try to wrap up this last little bit of our BHIC, RCG, TCC, CAM counseling, marriage underdogs project, which really is such a bear, but it's so enjoyable. So let's say goodbye. Yeah, that's not boobs, it's her hand. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you on the flippity flop. I probably will not record the finalization of this just because it's going to be more of the same. But if you have any other questions or any questions about dynamic pages or Wix or websites or the development process, how we're having to generate the content, CMSs, CRMs, like those are all things that I love to do and I do in my business, Shine with Sophie. So if you need anything as far as anything really, marketing services, PR services, earned media, social media, I'm your girl. So hit me up at shine.withsophie.co and we'll probably see you guys in a couple of days. Angela got back to me, so we're going to go ahead and move forward with some back-end SEO work for her. So I'll probably be doing that as a construct next. And we'll see you then. So thanks for hanging out with me and Day tonight, and we'll see you guys in a few days. Thanks. Bye.